Night 2 of 2 between Colorado State and UNLV here at City National Arena. A pair of the top teams in the WCHL set to do battle once again tonight. Welcome into the broadcast. I'm your play-by-play commentator, Dominic Dubois, joined by media manager and part-time ringside reporter Megan Roma. Rankin, thanks for joining me outside here in the cold here at City National Arena.
Right now.
So starting off the top here, UNLV and Colorado State on Friday. A pair of power play goals, one for each team early. How can the power play units be effective tonight?
Yeah, so Coach CR, I just spoke to him, and the biggest thing he said is that both teams need to make adjustments. So it's really up to the changes they need to make and see who will be more successful tonight.
And then one of the freshmen that has been getting some praise from the broadcast team, we've been praising really the entire freshman class this season for the Skating Rebels, is Mario DiMaggio. 5 points in his last pair of games, a goal last night. What has been working for the freshman defenseman?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing for them as well is, isn't just rebuilding, it's also reloading, not just the freshmen, but this entire team. So, coming off a championship and coming off such a powerful force, the biggest thing CR mentioned was, okay, we have all these new players and they all bring different things to this team. How can we then just build off of that rather than restarting? Let's build on top of that and make things better.
And we're going to see tonight if DiMaggio and the rest of his freshman peers can, in fact, build off of the championship DNA that UNLV set last year after winning their first national title. Once again, CSU and UNLV coming right up. Before we get to that, we have to remind you, it's Hockey Fights Cancer Weekend here at City National Arena. The Skating Rebels auctioning off these Hockey Fights Cancer jerseys benefiting the V Foundation for cancer research. That money goes to the V Foundation to fund critical cancer research and support groups. So visit the link on your screen, 32auctions.com/Rebel Hockey, or if you have a QR or a phone handy, scan the QR code on your screen. It takes you directly to the auction page, and the clock is ticking. The auction ends at 8 p.m. Pacific time tonight. So the stage is set, the dinner table is set, whatever you want to say. UNLV and CSU is coming right up.
The mountains are my favorite place to get away and be together. With Lazy Dog, I wanted to create that same experience for our guests. Whether you're meeting up for happy hour, getting the whole crew together to celebrate, or looking for a delicious dinner at home, we're your local spot. Great ingredients are at the heart of our scratch kitchen, so we look for partners that put the same care into their craft as we do. So stop by and get back to what really matters.
Two WCHL opponents locking horns on a Saturday night. The UNLV Skating Rebels storming back to a 4-1 win over CSU after surrendering the first goal of the game on Friday. UNLV looking to break out the brooms and sweep CSU back to Fort Collins. The Colorado State Rams taking on the UNLV Skating Rebels next.
Game 2 of 2 on the weekend here at City National Arena against the visiting Rams of Colorado State University. I'm joined here with freshman defenseman Mario DiMaggio. Mario, what did you guys do well last night that you're hoping to have translate into tonight?
We were able to get pucks behind their D and really forecheck their defensemen and get the puck back, and that created a lot of opportunities for us, so it helped a lot.
And on the other hand, what are you hoping to do better tonight?
We're hoping to take less penalties. Obviously, 5-on-5, we knew we were the better team. Most of their shots came on the power play, so if we can stay out of the box, I think we're going to have another good night.
Awesome. Thanks, man. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Sparrow?
Thank you, Bo. Now, Colorado State's offense was kind of stuck in the mud. They couldn't get off the line. 44-8 in shots last night, as well as their leading goal scorer, Carrick Stevens, not a single point last night. So look for him to get involved. Look for CSU to kind of come out guns blazing and just shoot the puck more. That's one of the keys that Colorado State has to this game. And for UNLV, just stick to your game plan. Last night it worked. Kind of just shut them down in the neutral zone. Keep the interactive defenseman core going, and there should be no problem tonight. AJ and Dom, we'll send it back up to you guys.
Thank you, Kyle. Thank you, Megan, for joining me. Thank you, Bo, for sitting by with Mario DiMaggio. And you, the fans that are tuned in on a Saturday night, thank you for tuning in and joining us for the second night in a row here at City National Arena. UNLV taking on Colorado State. There's a shot of downtown Summerlin right across the street from the rink. It's myself, Dominic Dubois, joined by AJ Reed. Now, AJ, you had a bit of a night off earlier today. You got to rest the pipes a little bit after a fun opening frame on Friday night with UNLV and CSU, and then the pacing kind of trailed off a little bit as the game wore on.
Yeah, and it was it's not what we expected after that first period. You know, they were going pretty quick, but Colorado State wasn't able to keep up throughout the rest of the game. Weren't able to get shots on goal like Kyle mentioned in that pregame. They had 2 power play opportunities in that third period and weren't able to register a single shot on goal. So that's something they're going to have to work at if they're going to try and win tonight.
And they have a different netminder in the blue paint, which may be able to provide a bit of a jump for this Rams team. We'll get to the full starting lineup in a few moments here, but the all-time good guy, AJ, from last night, Ethan Blackburn, kind enough to check on Rolando Guerrero, our camera operator here at the UNLV Skate and Rebel broadcast after he nearly got hit by an errant clearing attempt. A redirected puck up towards the camera perch. Remember, he's out inside the protective netting, inside the rink. He does have a helmet on. The helmet courtesy of Justin Stathopoulos. The full bubble courtesy of Ringside reporter Bo Kennedy, who's locked in over there taking a look at CSU. But once again, Ethan Blackburn in between the pipes for Colorado State. AJ could very well provide a bit of a different look for UNLV for one, but also, like I said, a spark for the Rams tonight.
Yeah, he earned this start for Colorado State. The high energy on the bench all night, banging on the boards. You know, every single hustle play that Colorado State had, every block shot, every block pass, every neutral zone win, he was on there banging on the boards. So he's got the support of the team behind him tonight, and it could be what they need to try and ignite a spark, get something going on offense.
I mean, we heard it, we acknowledged it, and I mean, the spark didn't come last night, but again, it's not that Colorado State played particularly bad. They just, in my eyes, got out-muscled a little bit after a while. The war of attrition in the neutral zone, UNLV won that. The neutral zone in the first frame, we saw it, we talked about it. No one was really able to get a full foothold in there. And then UNLV, after they got a few clean zone entries, like we mentioned, they were able to settle in.
And that just shows the depth of this UNLV hockey team, right? I mean, pretty even through the neutral zone in that first period, like you said, not able to get clean zone entries. UNLV, a couple times they were able to get a clean entry, but throughout the game, Colorado State was not able to clean it up in the neutral ice like UNLV was, and that led to their lack of offensive rushes. It led to their lack of offensive zone time. It led to their offensive lack of shots on goal, and it led to their lack of goals in general. Like we got into it last night with the philosophy, you got to shoot the puck to score, right? The very basics of hockey. You can't score if you don't shoot. So Colorado State needs to clean it up in the neutral zone first to trickle down to get those shots on goal and maybe get some goals on the board.
Yeah, and once you get the clean zone entries, then, like we said, if you're able to slow it down, you can set up in the offensive zone. You can snap it around. You can get some good looks, but don't obviously pass too much because then you give up a lot of good looks.
Yeah.
So you're looking for the perfect shot, and that, again, can get you to the same exact place that Colorado State was in last night, where not a lot of shots on goal because you're trying to find that perfect shooting lane, that perfect shot. You just got to shoot the puck at some point, and then you'll be fine. Let it all figure out. Maybe there's a C&I shot, another one, or maybe a pair, or maybe a trio from Colorado State. They had one last night. They opened up the scoring. Riley Hunt Bond from the point on the power play, the first power play of the game. Seeing eye shot, and it found its way on net. So, I mean, you never know what might happen, especially with the UNLV starters being announced. Owen Zanone getting the nod tonight. Doug Wakeland getting a bit of a relaxation, a rest night tonight.
Yeah, we're excited for it's his first start at home, I believe.
I believe you're
this
correct,
season,
yes.
So we're excited. He's got the nice pads.
He does. They
They
Good
were
pad set up.
Donated to him by one of our donors. So,
And many thanks.
you know, look good, feel good, play good, right?
Exactly.
So we'll see what he's got for us.
I'm sure he's already got the first two parts of that equation all settled in. Now only time will tell to see if he'll play good. Which that's not no win. That's not anything bad to say. It's just speaking objectively. Once again, Owen Zanone being named the starter. There's his graphic being played over the big screen here at City National Arena. Now, you saw the starters there. You saw their graphics. We're going to go through the starting lineups here in a moment. But first, the national anthem and the opening ceremonies. UNLV and Colorado State coming right up. And that was the anthem, all wrapped up. No anthem singer tonight, but AJ, me and you were reminiscing on the band days.
Crash cymbals.
I had to do that. It killed my knuckles. Hated it every time I had to do it. But the muscle memory is still there. So we're going to go through the starters as we promised a few moments ago. First up, UNLV, Dylan Jensen, Mason Kelly, and Joey Carollo up on the forward line. Dylan Ford now donning his number 13 traditionally, and Asher White's on the blue line. And Owen Zanone, as we mentioned, getting the nod for the Skating Rebels. Now for Colorado State, Carrick Stevens, we talked about him in the open. Aiden Von Felt and Ryan Andor on the forward lines. Ty Doan and Cameron Cromwell on the blue line. And then in between the pipes, an all-time good guy, Ethan Blackburn. A different look in between the pipes for both teams tonight, AJ. Zanone and Blackburn getting the nod.
Yeah, it's an exciting matchup. Two new goalies and a lot of hockey left to play.
And a lot of time left in the Hockey Fights Cancer Specialty Jersey Auction. Go to 32auctions.com/Rebel Hockey or scan the QR code on your screen. It'll take you directly to the auction page to bid on game-worn jerseys from the Skating Rebels. The auction ends in about, give or take, 51 minutes, 8 p.m. local time, so make sure to act fast. Not a lot of time is left on that auction, so here we go. Kelly digs in opposite of Aiden Von Felton. We're underway on Saturday night. CSU and UNLV set to do battle. Kelly plays it off the side of the cage. Von Felt finds it and plays it up the wall. Kept in. White sends across corner. And that gets chopped at by Ford. Andor clears the zone, and now here comes Andor. Gains his own for Colorado State, and that gets knifed away. Now, loose puck shot from just inside the faceoff dot. That was Angus Frithson. Didn't make it on net. So Kelly jams that out of the zone. D-to-D pass. That's Frithson who sends it into the zone, and UNLV is going to get some fresh legs out there, and so will Colorado State. Blackburn stumbles for a moment. Shot there from inside. Oliver Band looking for his second goal in as many games this weekend. Plays it off the side of the net. And now here's Mensch. Leaves it for Wyatt. Nagar from the point. Shoots one. Tipped by the stick of Frithson. Skips just wide. Strong trying to muscle it off of Collins. He can't. The Rams clear the zone. And now Wyatt from the red line gets it on the tape for. And now here's Caleb Strong. He gains his zone. Nagra sends it towards the net. Misses it just wide and kicks around the wall into neutral ice for Jackson Wyatt. Playing off the glass, and it hops over the stick of TJ Norris. He's a starting right winger on Friday night. Ryder McIntosh took a spill there. Masick is there for support. Offsides on that rush. So the faceoff is going to come just outside the UNLV offensive zone.
Well, I'll give you some numbers on the new goalie holding down the blue paint for Colorado State, Ethan Blackburn. This will be his 17th game. He's 8-4 with 3 overtimes to his name and a shootout loss. He's made 570 saves, 928 save percentage, 2.73 goals allowed average. So solid numbers for the backup.
Solid numbers indeed. That puck went in behind the Colorado State bench. It doesn't look like anyone's worse for wear, and Dylan Kuntz pleads his case to get the faceoff inside the Rebel zone. The coaching staff doesn't really like that decision. The official explains it, and we're back underway. Here's DiMaggio. He catches an edge, but is back up. Bo Kennedy spoke to Mario DiMaggio in the pregame, and now Kuntz has that roll off of his stick, and now Colorado State's going to try and take it the other way. That's knifed away by McIntosh. Now Colorado State gains his own on the right wing wall. They turn the puck over, and now here's McIntosh, who sends it into the zone around the glass. Bryce Johnson's there. Norris has that pickpocketed by Backel. Backel centering try, Johnson in, tight backhand try, no goal. Blackburn looks like he got all of it, and he sprawls out to make the save. First good scoring chance of the evening for either team, but Ethan Blackburn stands tall.
I was just impressed they were able to get that pass to him, and what a chance, and Ethan Blackburn shuts that one right up.
And that was just a great effort from Luke Backel, that's forcing the turnover, getting the takeaway, as you mentioned, getting the pass to the slot for Bryce Johnson. And he tried it, but Blackburn stands tall. And we stay knotted up at zeros. As Zanone finds that and holds for a whistle that skipped on net.
Well, so far, Colorado State still looking a little bit, they're looking a little bit better in neutral ice, but still not to the point where they're able to get consistent offensive zone time. It's been a little bit, turning the puck over too much when they get it in.
UNLV gets that out, and it's going to be blown and dead on an icing. Makai Mitchell was back for Colorado State. Tag up. 16:02 on the clock in the first period. Shots are 3-1 in favor of UNLV. That latest shot on goal. Once again, the Bryce Johnson scoring chance in tight all alone. But Ethan Blackburn getting the best of that engagement. That's CSU's second shot on net. Steered out of play by Zanone. So back underway here. The UNLV alumni getting honored for a brief moment. Kelly sweeps it over to Jensen. He dips the shoulder, drives the net, and gets angled off by Frithsen, and that's going to be a penalty. A hold on Angus Frithsen. So UNLV struck on their first power play attempt last night. They get a look at the man advantage here tonight early.
Well, we talked about special teams a lot last night. Not as much in the conversation tonight, but they did the first two goals of the game, both on the power play. One for Colorado State, one for UNLV. So we'll see what UNLV can do.
And both of the power play goal scorers in the circle there, Oliver Band and Riley Hunt-Bond. And they'll get back set up at the faceoff dot. Hunt-Bond opened up the scoring last night on the power play for Colorado State, and Oliver Band answered with a goal of his own on the man advantage later in the first frame. Strong to Backel, centering try, Mensch shoots one. Doesn't get it on goal. Looks like he might have played it off the side of the cage. Blackburn kicked the net off of its moorings there, trying to make that save. So we have a brief stoppage of play. 9 seconds into this man advantage, AJ. Already a pretty good scoring chance.
Great scoring chance, and the net coming off again.
And that's 3 faceoffs on the same side. I believe this is going to be the 4th in a row at this left dot. So 2 times we have stoppages on scoring chances, and now we're back underway. Strong down low. Backel spins it towards the slot. Doesn't get there. Mensch finds it, plays it up for Nagra, and that skips just outside the zone. UNLV will have to tag up, and they do. Doan and Mensch go to the corner, and Doan gets the best of that engagement and sends it down the length of the ice, and Owen plays it and keeps the pace up. Nagra will slow it down for a brief moment, and now he's going to quarterback the rush. Drop pass to Strong. Now to Mensch. Mensch cuts outside on the right wing boards. He looks. Drop pass for Backel. Up top, Nagra to Strong. He dekes to the backhand, gets it in the skates of Backel, who spins it towards the net and gets deflected wide. Up top, there's Strong. Swept over to Nagra. Now to Backel, turns one on. Pad save made by Blackburn. Strong keeps his own. Now Backel to Band from the left circle, shoots one, misses it just wide. Full sail changes for the Colorado State penalty killing unit, and a new power play unit coming on for the Rebels with the final 30 seconds coming up on the power play. Here's DiMaggio. Toe drag, moving on in, pad save. Blackburn, and that gets sent out of the zone again. Mario DiMaggio looking for his second goal in as many games this weekend there.
And he's really been quarterbacking this power play the last two home weekends for UNLV.
Here he is with it again. DiMaggio plays it on the left wing. Rand sends it in deep. Penalty expiring on the Rams. So Colorado State back to full strength. They don't fall victim to a power play goal from UNLV on their first attempt tonight. Masick gains his own on the right wing. Now down low, Perini off the wall for Andor, and he gets hit hard along the bench by Bryce Johnson. No arm raised on the official. Will play on. The CSU bench wanted a call there. They had a pretty good view of it. It was right in front of them. That gets sent in. Rand gets played away from him by Perini. Now forward from the officials' crease. On the tape, Carollo, the captain, sends it across corner into the zone. Kelly bumps Perini. That's soccered along. Jensen takes a spill trying to gap Andor, and that gets sent off the wall in a neutral ice. Stevens pickpocketed. Now here's Carollo gaining the zone. Shoots one, misses it wide. And that gets sent out of play for a whistle. So a really big hit already from Bryce Johnson. CSU wanted their first look at a power play, but they didn't get it.
No, they did not, and we'll do again from the UNLV offensive zone. And a lot of back and forth, but UNLV still controlling neutral ice.
It allows them to get zone time. DiMaggio's shot gets blocked by Mitchell. And he hits Mason Kelly hard in the corner. Now DiMaggio shoots one, stick save. DiMaggio joining the rush a lot as a defenseman, showing a lot of confidence in his stride and his shot. But now here come the Rams. They play that up ice for an icing. 11:59 to go now in this first period. 11:58 now. An extra second ticked off there.
Well, that's two looks now for Mario DiMaggio on the rush where it felt like he had a good scoring chance. I feel like he's humming offensively right now with the way he's moving and the way he's been passing the puck. So could be one to watch out for tonight.
Speaking with assistant coach Colin Robin earlier tonight about DiMaggio's performance as of late, he basically chalks it up. He's like, he's doing the little things right. And that's big for a freshman. That's where the reload, not rebuild, came from that Megan Roma alluded to in the open. Just when you lose players like Matias Del Monte, who can really quarterback rushes effectively, other guys got to step up, and other guys have to fill roles that the guys who stepped up left.
Well, when you do the little things right, it makes the big things easier.
Exactly. And I mean, it all builds. Rome wasn't built in a day. If you want to go more cliches, you give 110%. The whole 9 yards. So under 11 and a half to go now. UNLV try to get a rush generated that gets paddled back into their zone. Jackson Wyatt will retreat and try and reload this rush. Some fresh legs coming on for the Rebels. gets sent into the zone. Rand tries to put one on net from a sharp angle. Just cruises through the blue paint. And now here's Norris. Gets that knocked off of his stick. Now UNLV starting it out on the tape on the left wing for Randy. Cuts to the center. Rand gets that knifed off of his stick. And now here's Norris on the right wing. Norris gains the zone for the Rams. That shot gets blocked in front. And now the Rebels will turn it back up north on the left wing side once more. That's McIntosh to the center. Mastic moving on in. Centering try. No one home. There's DiMaggio. He shoots. It gets tipped just wide of the net. Perini finds it. And he'll start it out for the Rams and just chip it into the zone. Some changes for both teams, and now the Rebels are going to wind up another rush on the right wing now. That's DiMaggio. He gains the zone himself. Takes it down low. He gets canceled out by Mitchell. DiMaggio still fighting for it. Gets it to Mensch. Mensch tries to center it and gets it off of Blackburn's pad, and Stevens plays it to center but doesn't get it to a teammate. Yeah, that's going to be an icing. So 9:23 to go. Shots are 10-3 in favor of the Rebels. So now here comes UNLV with it again. That's Mensch on the tape for Strong. Strong looking, tried to get it to Mensch, who is charging the slot, trying to get body position on Angus Fritz, and that was just out of his reach. Now under 9 minutes to go, the Rebels winding it up again. Oliver Band plays it through. Niagara spins one on, he scores! I mean, they don't ask how, they ask how many. Devin Agro just turns and spins it on, a bit of an ice burner. And it's 1-zip Rebels.
Yeah, I don't know how he got that one off. 180 shooting the puck, and it looked like it just beat Blackburn.
5-hole maybe.
5-hole, maybe like just below the pads, but what a shot and goal for UNLV to get on the board on a shot like that.
And like I said, they don't ask how, they ask how many. I'm sure Devin Niagara will take that. It's his 5th goal of the year, his 2nd in the last 4 games. Oliver Band, the primary assist, is another point. Jackson Wyatt pulls back out in front of Charlie Masick for the lead on the Rebels for points. Now Carollo sends it up for Jensen on the backhand, steers it towards the net. Loose puck gets directed away from danger and sent out of the zone. And now UNLV winding it up again. There's Carollo. He sends it cross corner. Jensen's on it with Mitchell on his hip. Kelly finds it in his skates. He looks on the tape for Kuntz. Now to DiMaggio, left circle from the goal line. Shoots one off the pad of Blackburn. It gets steered away from the goal by Connor Petrangelo. Jensen with it again now. Down low on the backhand for Kelly. Shaking off pressure from Hunt Bond. And DiMaggio, pressured by Petrangelo, dances through traffic and shoots one. It misses to the high glass. And Kuntz settles it down and spins away from Collins. Kuntz shoots one, doesn't get there. Kuntz finds it again, gets shoved to his knees and plays it down into the corner. Now Kelly finds it. Now mess out behind the net. UNLV still with possession in this offensive zone. An extended offensive zone shift for the skating Rebels. DiMaggio up top, Kuntz on the tape. He slaps one on net and tipped away from danger. Gets knifed towards the point and lifted out of the zone to neutral ice finally by Mitchell. And full sail changes here for CSU.
Well, Colorado State is starting to get suffocated on their defensive side of the puck, just not able to break out and get any pressure themselves, and they gotta get in a rhythm soon.
I mean, UNLV gains the zone once again. They can't keep possession, though, and a big-time hit from Estabrook on the forecheck, sending Rondo to the ice. And now here's Estabrook in on the forecheck again, finishing that collision there, and a big-time collision between a pair of bodies. That's Rondo and Johnson. And now the Rams will take it the other way. For a trio of hits, rather, from both teams in the last few moments. And the Rebels gain the zone, and that gets played away from Johnson by Schuckman. And now Sleds gains the red line and sends it into the zone. Bouncing puck settled down in the corner by the Rebels. And they break it out with a pair of passes. Here's Rand slicing and dicing his way through neutral ice. He dips the shoulder. Centering try for Masick. Rolls off his stick. Second chance. Doesn't get there. And swing and a miss from McIntosh coming in late on that offensive zone chance for the Rebels. UNLV keeps the zone. That's Dylan Gordon chipping it in on the backhand. Settled down by Whites. Now on the tape, McIntosh. Centering try. No one home. That goes out of the zone. Gordon back in the zone and finds it. Now here come the Rams. Trying to get something going as we approach the final 5 minutes of the first period. Once again, 1-0 moments ago. Devin Nagra finding the back of the net for the Rebels, and that was an offsides there. And he mentioned a bit of a deke. I don't know if Garrick Stevens really likes that when he's gave him a little chop there at the end of the play.
Well, going back to that scoring opportunity, what a pass by Tristan Rand to get that to Masick. Just couldn't get a good enough stick on the puck there. And then McIntosh had a chance to get a stick on it too and just let it get away from him right there. But a great opportunity for UNLV off the pretty pass from Rand.
UNLV settling in a bit earlier than they did last night, AJ. It took them a few moments in this first period to really settle into their game, and they've done it now as Band misses that one wide. Now Mensch centering try on the tape for Band. He spins away from the net. One-time drive from Kuntz. Whistles wide. And DiMaggio takes it down low. Drops it off for Mensch. Mensch slicing towards the slot. Band finds it up top. Kuntz. From the point, he looks down low, back to Mensch. Mensch feeds it towards the slot, and it doesn't get there. And he stays on the back check, and his effort was valiant, but CSU still got a zone clearance and some fresh legs out. Band sends it in, and UNLV will do the same. It's gloved down by Carollo at the point. The Rebels still hounding CSU in their own end. Kelly keeps the zone and sends it in deep, but Doan sends it to center. So some changes now for the Rams. Carollo rink wide on the tape. Kelly tried to get a return pass. Carollo just rolled off of his stick and couldn't get it done. And now under 3.5 to go in this first period, the Rebels winding up another rush. That's Nagra. Or Wyatt, excuse me. Jackson Wyatt shoots one on net and into the chest to Blackburn. He'll hold for a whistle. Very long sequence there of just up to the red line and back down and up to the red line, back down, up, down, red line, down.
Up to the red line, get a quick shift change. Back on defense for the UNLV rush. We're starting to see in the shot department now, UNLV leading 14-3.
It's been quite some time since the Rams have registered a shot on goal as Ford puts one towards the net and it gets blocked by the skate of Frisson. And now Backel on the forecheck gets canceled out by Sleds. And that gets skied out to neutral ice once again and settled down by the Rebels.
Well,
on the tape, Johnson.
Just feels like UNLV has 6 skaters out there the way they're hustling in the neutral ice and the forecheck.
They're everywhere. Now here's Whites. Pulls up. And can't play that through traffic. And now here's Norris on the left wing side. He chips it in and takes a bump for his trouble. And Norris can't spin that towards the goal. And that gets sent out of the zone. Icing waved off early by the linesman. Mackinac for Perini. Perini gets it on the tape. On the left wing side for Stevens. Now we approach the final 2 minutes. Big time collision by a pair of 15s. That was Makazak hitting McIntosh. And now here's Stevens shooting one. Stick save made by Zanone. Now CSU getting a bit of zone time here. Perini fires one. Pad saves Zanone. Some oohs and ahs of the CSU bench. They thought that was a good chance. Didn't look too shabby. Now here's Masick. On the right wing, he gets canceled out by Makazak. And Nagra, the goal scorer. D for Wyatt. Return pass Nagra. He shoots through traffic, blocked in front. Makazak looked like he wore that one. And now down low, there's McIntosh on the tape. Left circle, Rand shoots one. Save made again by Blackburn. And Wyatt keeps his own. Jackson Wyatt now looking from the high slot. Bobbles the puck for a moment. He slows it down. Tries to fire one through traffic. It goes off the stick of Von Felt. Now on the left wing boards, Von Felt tries to hammer it out. Bouncing puck. McIntosh shoots. He scores. Ryder McIntosh. Right place, right time. 2-0 Rebels.
Well, credit that goal to the ferocious forecheck that UNLV put on Colorado State right there. Unable to clear the zone. It felt like 3 times they had a chance and they got picked. They got their pocket picked. And then the beautiful pass to McIntosh, who buries it 5-hole. That one we saw for sure. 2-0 Rebels.
So now the Rebels, with under a minute to go, have their first 2-goal lead of the weekend in the first period. In the first period. That's an ESPN-esque stat sometimes. They put out stats like that. But
yeah, I don't know about that one. I do not know about that one.
Their first 2-goal lead in the first period of the weekend. Our director, Jack Bridges, is nodding his head.
That's like when...
Here's Band who fires one, directed wide. And Dylan Gordon feeds it towards the net, tipped wide. We'll get to your thought in a moment,
yep.
AJ. The Rams clear the zone, and Strong gets it back in his own end and leaves it for Whites.
Well, it's like when, a team goes 0-2 in the NFL, and they bring up that, teams that go 0-2 to start the season have a 25 or 10% chance to make the playoffs or whatever.
Or any team PR is like, they put out a stat that so-and-so player is the first player in franchise history to average 3.5 yards per reception on 50 million receptions through 4 games of their career or something like that. That's the horn. We're going to get out of here. 2-0 Skating Rebels lead. And in celebration of Hockey Fights Cancer Weekend, we'll leave you with this. Myself and the staff on the media team decided to share what and who they're fighting for on this Hockey Fights Cancer Weekend. We're going to leave you with these images. UNLV leads 2-0 through 20 minutes. We'll be right back.
It's 2-0 UNLV after this first period here. I'm joined here with defenseman Devin Nagra, who was the first goal scorer of the night. Walk me through that first goal. What did you see open up there?
Yeah, I feel like yesterday, just in general, most of the team, we didn't really get pucks through too much, and just kind of in front of the net, wanted to get a quick one on net, and new goalie tonight, so I wanted to test him out, and yeah, lucky enough to go in.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you, there's a new goalie on Colorado tonight, so what did that change your game plan for tonight's game?
We just really wanted to get pucks on net really early, kind of test him out. He hasn't played in a few weeks, I believe, so just really test him out.
Gotcha, and what do you hope to bring into this next period going in?
We got to keep working hard and stay in the ozone as much as possible, and it'll lead to good things.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Devin. Of course. Kyle, bring it on over to you.
Thank you, Zoe. Now, Devin Nagra summed it up very perfectly. New goalie means just get shots on net. Both goals coming between the 5-hole of the goalie, and that's what you just got to do. Bring pucks to the net. And Colorado State did a really good job. They killed off UNLV's first attack, which was that power play, but they're kind of getting stagnant again. They're kind of getting stuck again. Just shoot pucks to the net, match the pace of UNLV, and UNLV, just keep up the speed, keep up what you're doing. It worked last night, and it has no problem working this night. With all that being said, Dom and AJ, let's send it back up to you guys.
Thank you, Kyle. Thank you, Zoe. And thank you all for sticking with us. If you stuck with us through the opening frame and the intermission, if you're joining us, thanks for joining us. Here are your stats to catch you up through 20 minutes. 16-6 are the shots. 2-0 is your score. A pair of penalty minutes aside. Cleaner entries for CSU is a key here. And for UNLV, keep forechecking. That forecheck has looked awfully good.
Keep forechecking and got him a goal. At the end of that period, got them their second goal where McIntosh went 5-hole. But we've just learned that the goalie, Owen Zanone, is credited with an assist on the first goal of the game to Oliver Band. And it's because he deflected the puck to Band, who went up, passed it off, and then he got back to Band. So there's only 3 people touched the puck on that scoring play. Secondary. So
not too bad.
First game starting, holding down the blue paint for UNLV here in City National Arena. Gets an assist.
Not too shabby at all. So we're underway here at City National Arena for the second period of play. The team switched sides. UNLV with the white jerseys, accented by scarlet and gray. Skating away from the broadcast. Colorado State in those ever nice green, gold, and white jerseys. Skating towards the broadcast for the long change period.
I do love the jersey matchup tonight.
Big fan. Big fan.
I didn't even realize yesterday until the third period, but Colorado State's got their primary logo on one shoulder and then just the ram horn on the other.
I like it.
I like it.
Making use of every logo. You got the script. I'm always a sucker for script jerseys. For basketball, baseball, hockey. Baseball especially. Big fan of script jerseys in baseball. Just classic.
Yep.
Can't beat it.
Clean.
That shot through traffic from the point from Ford. Sounds like it went off of the pad of Blackburn. It did. That's the 17th shot on goal for UNLV in this one. So once again, the Rebels in that far side. And UNLV, man, just staying on the forecheck. I mean, they're winning puck battles there. That puck battle went on for maybe like a good 15, 20 seconds. UNLV wins it and gets it in deep.
Not only that, they were able to get changed at the same time. So fresh legs on for UNLV after winning that.
And now here's a Mensch. He chips it into the zone. Centering try off the pad of Blackburn. Another save to the pleasure of the CSU bench. UNLV keeping the zone still. But CSU finally clears, but they're going to send it down the length of the ice for an icing. So no line change here for the Rams.
Well, it's tough because it feels like already in this second period it's been suffocating for Colorado State in their defensive zone because they can't break it out. They're not winning the puck battles.
So they have another chance here to try and get a breakout generated. They're starting from behind their own cage below the goal line, but they turn it over there. UNLV spins it back down low, but now the Rams will start it out off the loose puck. They play it off the wall and in. Zanone comes out and plays it. Now here's Strong. Feeds one towards the goal mouth off the pad of Blackburn. And now UNLV directing it back in. That's on net. Blackburn makes another save. That's UNLV's 20th shot on goal of the evening. And UNLV gets called for icing at the 7:13 mark. Gonna plug this one more time, AJ. 7:57 p.m. local. There's still a few minutes left on the auction. 32auctions.com/Rebel Hockey for the Hockey Fights Cancer jerseys worn last night. Game worn. Bennett, portions of the proceeds go to the V Foundation and Hockey Fights Cancer for cancer research and support groups.
Definitely one of my favorite specialty jerseys they've worn this season.
I would have to agree. I
think the colors are nice.
Yeah, the lavender and the pink. Big fans. Kind of, I wish that they did a black jersey at some point, though. Kind of like what UNLV football did 2 years ago against
Colorado State.
State
I remember that
at
game.
Allegiant Stadium. Game-winning field goal.
That's right.
Kind of funny how that works out, actually. I don't know why neither of us thought about that last night, but I wasn't at that game. There was a game here. As Rand knifes that one at the goal mouth, doesn't get on net, and now DiMaggio tried to feed it to Rand in the slot. Kuntz now from the left circle. Tried to feed it towards the goal. Masick now, D to D. Now back up top, there's Masick from the point. Shoots one off a skate. Looked like it went off from Makai Mitchell. And now DiMaggio to Kuntz. Now behind the net, everyone knifing at it at the goal mouth. We have some sticks coming up at the far end, and our first little bit of fiery after the whistle actions here of the weekend. Tristan Rand's having himself a laugh, it looks like. So the teams will disembark for their benches after that one. Haven't seen that in a little bit.
No, we haven't. We've seen a little bit of physicality. There was that time in the first period where there was those 3 hits back to back to back dished out, but nothing came of those. Nothing. The physicality hasn't spiked, but now we got a little bit of a scuffle.
We haven't seen that in the last few games, really, even at City National Arena. And I mean, that usually comes with the territory with teams you don't have to play that often. But I mean, we alluded to it last night as well. The last time Colorado State was in Las Vegas was way back in the 2018-19 season. It was a different UNLV program, obviously ahead of the national championship by quite a few years, obviously ahead of a lot of their noted success in the recent half-decade or so. And it was a much more physical team, a much more physical program, and they carried that brand of hockey all the way up until the 2023-24 season, and then that old guard left. And you already saw the transformation a little bit that last year. Is the foot race. Colorado State wins that one. Asher White's got beat by Collins. And Estabrook now will start it out for the Rebels, but not a lot of physicality on this team. Brady Estabrook's one of them, or one of the players, rather, that plays that physical brand of hockey consistently. But not a lot of testiness after the whistle or in between whistles this weekend. A lot of the paces seem to trickle away in this game, or the flow rather, so far in this middle frame. Carollo blocks that with the blade of his stick in front. Shuckman, who tried to get a shot on goal from the half wall. And Mitchell sends it in on the backhand. Zanone plays it on the tape for Niagara. Then Jensen centering, try directed on, they score. So UNLV extended their lead to 3. Jackson Wyatt hitting the soft spot of the ice, and a great feed from Dylan Jensen on the left wing.
Well, we've been talking about this for Colorado State, getting those clean zone entries right there for UNLV. Clean zone entry on the rush. Dylan Jensen, pretty pass. Jackson Wyatt finishing the play. Now 3-0. Hey, you want to get in this 3-goal lead? Did they have that in the second period last night?
Put me on the spot.
I think
here.
it was 3-1.
I think it was 3-1, yes. Should have been in my notes, but I mean, who's counting?
We got to get our,
not me,
our
obviously.
stats department
I'm not
on
counting.
this.
And a pair of goals from the defenseman here tonight. So UNLV off of that goal, they get to head to the power play. It's going to be a cross-checking minor, or it's going to be UNLV on the PK rather. So Caleb Strong going for a cross-check. So after going down 3-0, Colorado State has a look on the man advantage, and we'll be looking to get one back, obviously.
Well, last night we know Riley Hunt Bond was the lone scorer on the power play for Colorado State, but another player to keep in mind is number 6, Christian Collins. He's got 4 power play goals, leads all of the Rams in that category. See him taking the face-off right here against Mason Kelly.
Now here's Jensen with speed on the left wing, driving the net. Jensen moving on in, backhand try. Oh, what a save by Blackburn on a streaking Jensen shorthanded in the opening half minute of the PK for the Rebels. Already a great chance. DiMaggio sends it down the length of the ice.
Well, he just had the assist on the last goal, the pretty pass. Now trying to take one for himself. But a good play by Blackburn to shut that one off.
Jensen, one of the speedsters on this team. He and Tristan Rand have some wheels on him, and Lydia offsides is blown dead. .12:31 to go in this middle period. Shots are 24-6 in favor of the Skating Rebels, and through 7.5 minutes, AJ, Colorado State has not registered a shot on goal.
Yeah, not what you want to see from the Colorado State offense. We mentioned twice last night in the third period that they went on the power play and didn't register a single shot on goal. Right now that's the case still, but a minute left in the power play for the Rams to get something going.
Now Doan, D to D. Cromwell, that shot goes off the side of the cage. Now Andor, it's blown dead for a penalty, so we're going to see who's going exactly. It's going to be a hook. So that'll wash out the UNLV PK. Colorado State's penalty is going to be a hook on Garrick Stevens. So 4-on-4 for 36 seconds, and then a very brief minute 24 abbreviated power play for the Rebels after this 4-on-4 period's up. So now 4-on-4 hockey, our favorite. Now it's Jackson White up top. Rink-wide feed, that's Johnson. Bryce Johnson. Back over to Rand. Rand, top of the shot slot, shoots one. And gets directed up into the high glass. UNLV keeps possession. The Rebels back at full strength now. So now they're on the power play for about another minute and 15 seconds. So now the Rebels snapping around the offensive zone, trying to get a good look. That's Strong, just between the wickets of Band, and that skips out of the zone and settled down and neutralized by Wyatt, who misplays the puck for a moment, sweeps it away from pressure. That was Collins on the forecheck, and Wyatt misplays the puck, and that's Collins, hops on it. Collins feeds it, it's a slide, shoots one, stick save by Zanone, and Wyatt gets sent to the ice by Collins. It's a rough shift for Jackson Wyatt there for the Rebels, but here comes Backel with about 40 seconds to go on the power play. Now Strong, Sinagra, back over to Strong, down low. That touch pass doesn't get to the bumper. And D Nagra for Mensch. Mensch to the soft part of the ice. Backhand try from Band. Save made, directed to the high glass. Loose puck out in front. Everyone knifing at it. Nagra tees one up. He shoots, blocked out in front. A big time shot block there from CSU. Looked like it might have been Connor Petrangelo selling out to block that shot. But UNLV coming back the other way from the slot. Mensch has it roll off of his stick, and Colorado State back to full strength, and here they come. Stevens out of the box. He shoots and sails it over the net. So a great kill from CSU and a good chance fresh out of the box for Stevens. But he just misses the net high.
The leading point scorer for Colorado State right there with a chance.
And now Stevens with it again on the right wing. He gains the red line and chips it off the wall and in. It's settled down by White. Up the left wing, Jensen. Von Felt cuts it off and sends it back in. And now here comes Mason Kelly, moving on in to try to get it over to Carollo. Kelly loose out in front, misses the net from prime scoring position. And now White's tees one up, sends it in deep. And now here's White for Ford. He shoots from the top of the circle, blocked out in front by Von Felt. And that gets blocked out of the zone. And Whites gains the red and sends it back in cross corner. Full sail changes coming up for the Rebels, and the Rams trying to get on their horse and hustle. They chip that one in, and Zanone doesn't like it and freezes the bouncing puck off the end wall.
Well, before that UNLV possession, Colorado State showing a little bit more life on offense than they have the last couple nights. Getting some good chances with the leading scorer, Carrick Stevens, but not able to keep the zone.
Now the Rams feel like they have a little bit more pop to their game now in the last few moments, but here comes Tristan Rand. He shoots from the left wing and it's directed up into the netting. So 8:19 remains in this middle period. Shots are 27-8 now in favor of the Rebels. UNLV wins that offensive zone draw. And now they go to work. And DiMaggio keeps the zone. DiMaggio to Kuntz. Pair of left-handed defensemen. And knocked down in front, but couldn't be directed towards the net. And that gets directed down the length of the ice. Not inside the red line, though. It's a nice.
Bring it all the way back.
The second period feels a lot similar to the game of attrition that we had yesterday. Just both teams trying to kind of wear each other down and see who's going to break first. Colorado State broke a little bit, allowing another goal in this middle frame, but they have bent a lot rather than breaking. Backel keeps it in the neutral zone. Niagara finds it and plays it softly to Johnson. Now Johnson, rink-wide feed to the slot, touched by Backel in the middle of the ice for Estabrook in the corner. And now Jackson Wyatt back over. Estabrook shoots one, doesn't get it on net. And now Wyatt plays it down low. Centering try for Johnson, doesn't get there. And now Backel fires one off a shin pad into the netting for a whistle at the 6:57 mark.
Yeah, I've definitely seen the pace of play take a step back from that first period.
Yeah.
Come back down to earth from the war of attrition that, like you mentioned, we saw yesterday. Around the same period, too. I think things kind of got away from Colorado State in that third period. But right now, doing a good job not breaking too much, like you said.
The Rams hanging tough in this one. I mean, it's been a trend all weekend. The neutral zone is where the money is made for either of these teams. UNLV just better in neutral ice through about 3.5 periods of play between these two teams. UNLV moving into the soft part of the ice. No one home, and that's going to be TJ Norris on the left wing for CSU. Centering try. Shuckman shoots. Pad save made by Zanone. Now Shuckman with it again. Some pop for Colorado State. Loose puck out in front. Directed on. Pad save by Zanone again. And that gets steered up towards the point. Kept in by Makazak. He gets harassed by Carollo and gets it down low. Band finds a loose puck. And plays it off the wall. Still kept in by CSU. So the Rams with a lot of pop in their game now. So that gets sent out. UNLV getting changed up. And loose puck. Kelly picks it up. Directs it towards the slot, and it doesn't get there. And it gets sent out of the zone down the length of the ice for an icing at the 5:27 mark.
Definitely the best offensive possession for Colorado State all game for sure right there. And it happened off the rush. Had a great 2-on-1 opportunity. A great save by Zanone. And then they had a little bit of possession time, getting some good looks, but not able to capitalize.
I mean, with the pop that I mentioned, you see once CSU kind of gets into a flow, they're like, all right, we're good, we're good, we're good. They're making their passes snappy. They're playing with a lot of gusto. Not saying that they're not playing with any sort of effort, but there's just a little bit of extra pop. They're like, all right, cool, we're down 3, but, like, we have possession. Let's get a scoring chance.
Definitely, like, a little bit more speed in their skates.
Yeah.
When they get that opportunity.
And another stoppage at the 5:03 mark. 27-10 now are the shots in favor of UNLV still. So faceoff's going to come out, it looked like, to the center, but just outside the UNLV offensive zone. It's tied up. The Rebels come away with possession. That's Jensen with it, driving the net. Now down low, Jensen towards the slot for Carollo. Couldn't get there. Jensen still with it now. Behind the net, Kelly. He gets knocked to a knee. And that gets played in the slot. CSU trying to play it away from danger. Carollo picks it up. And he gets pickpocketed by Stevens. He lifts it off the glass and past DiMaggio. Now here come the Rams. Toe drag, can't get past Coates. Good defensive effort to shut down Andor. Now here's DiMaggio headbutting the rush the other way. He gives it off. They score! What a snipe by Mason Kelly from an odd angle. His second from such an angle this year, and UNLV leads 4-zip.
That looked a little bit like it was barred down. I heard the post on that one. Nasty, nasty goal, and the A great feed by DiMaggio, who quarterbacked the rush there to get Mason Kelly the look, and absolutely filthy goal for UNLV. They go up 4-0.
Yeah, I mean, we heard that ping all the way from here, and our headsets, they're noise canceling, and we still heard the ping. Crazy.
Little Bardowski.
Yeah, and I mean, Kelly scored a very similar goal against Oregon just a few weeks back before the new year. So it's rockstar zone again for Mason Kelly. Knocked down in front. And now the Rams facing a 4-goal deficit now, trying to get to work in their D zone. And UNLV will try and get back into the O zone, but they do for a moment. No icing on that one. McIntosh is on the forecheck. Here's Rand, shot from a sharp angle. Himself save made Blackburn, and he'll hold for a whistle. 3:35 remains now in this middle period.
Well, the goal came off Colorado State having an opportunity one-on-one, but got their pocket picked. Got it to DiMaggio, who quarterbacked the rush into the zone, and then Mason Kelly. Bardowski.
Bardowski, indeed. Might have been Bardowski. Looked Bardowski.
Sounded
Might have
Bardowski.
been posted in. I mean, if you're an NFL fan, you like the sound of a doink because it's funny, but in hockey, you like the sound of a ping because normally that's a little bit of extra to a goal. Now here's UNLV moving in. Stick save. Loose puck on the doorstep. No one can find it. Settled down by Johnson. He turns one on. Another stick save by Blackburn. Now White's with it. He fires off the end boards. Tipped on nearly by Johnson. And he finds it in the corner and plays it off the wall on the skates of White's. D to D forward. He lets one go from the point into the chest of Blackburn. He'll hold for a whistle. 2:44 left in the period.
Well, there's something a little special about the ping when it's a goal. You know,
Yeah.
when you shoot and you hear the ping and it's not a goal, crushing sound, right? Oh, we were this close. We hit the pipe. But when it is a goal, it adds that extra little flavor,
Yeah.
right? I know from my lacrosse days that it's the same feeling as it is in hockey. You know, it's the same kind of sound and it's the same sort of feeling.
I mean, like I said, too, in football, the doink is funny. Even if they make the field goal, the doink is funny. Especially if it hits, like, right up top towards the microphone.
Yeah, they got the booms pointed at the goalpost now. Because some of the recent doinks,
They've been bad. They sound like explosions on the TV. So now CSU trying to start a rush or something. They just chip it off the glass, and UNLV takes over in their own end. That's DiMaggio. And now Kuntz on the right wing boards, chips that past the defender. And now the Rams, in the final 2 minutes, they gain the zone. Norris shoots over the glass, and Nagra recovers. Norris slashes his stick as he gets changed up. And the Rams ice the puck. So 1 minute and 26 seconds to go in the second period, and that faceoff will come back into the CSU D zone.
and you're starting to hear the frustrations from that Colorado State bench when
Yeah.
they're coming to sub out. Just not able to get anything going. They're getting suffocated in their defensive zone. When they do get the zone, they're not getting good shots. They're not getting the best looks. Frustration starts to mount at the end of the 40-minute period.
20 more minutes or extra free hockey to go after this one. And it's the final minute. Once again, Mason Kelly, the latest goal scorer from a sharp angle, rings it off the iron and in. Nagra, a goal scorer himself. He'd opened up the scoring tonight. Carollo with a drive from the right wing circle. It doesn't get through. Nagra feeds it towards the goal. It goes high and wide into the corner. Now there's Jackson White with it at the point. Filters it down low for Rand. Now McIntosh with it. Directs it towards the point, or tried to rather. And now in the final 20 seconds, that's skied to center. Here's Stevens with it. He had a chance earlier in this frame. It gets knifed off of his stick by Gordon, and now Masick intercepts that pass. And now here comes Masick, 2-on-2, drops it off Rand, shoots one, misses wide, and directed towards the net by Gordon. But that's the horn. UNLV leads 4-0 through 40. Mason Kelly ringing his shot off the iron to give the Rebels that 4-0 lead headed into the second break. Stick around. 20 or more minutes between these two teams is coming up.
4-0 after 2. I'm here with one of the goal scorers, Mason Kelly. Mason, talk about that shot. I mean, from your vantage point, what did you see?
I was honestly trying to go low pad, try to get a rebound, but it all started with a good play from Mario, taking 3 guys, dishing it to me. I just got the better half of it.
Is that one of the best sounds in hockey, that ringing of the post?
Post in, yeah, absolutely.
And then going into the third, you know, you guys are kind of getting a lot of shots on net. Is that something you guys look forward to do in the third period?
Absolutely. I mean, they're playing pretty good defensive hockey, so we just got to keep trying to get the puck to the net and get some rebounds and put some pucks in the net again.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Zoe, we'll send it over to you.
Thank you so much for that, Kyle. Now ending this second period here, Colorado State is just getting suffocated in their defensive zones, and whenever they get a shot open, they're just missing it completely. They're going to need to start using their top player, top scorer, Carrick Stevens, if they're going to want to get in through this game going into this next period here. Dom and AJ, I'll bring it back over to you guys.
Thank you, Zoe. Thank you, Kyle, for standing by with Mason Kelly, who had the latest goal, bar down. So stats through 40, 33-10 are the shots on goal in favor of UNLV. The Skating Rebels lead 4-0. CSU, you got to get one, and for UNLV, just close this thing out and wrap it up and tie it with a bow.
Yeah, get one, but it's going to be tricky because the entire game, Colorado State's been bogged down in their defensive zone, trying to clear it, but UNLV forechecking hard, making it difficult for Colorado State to get clean breakouts. And on top of that, they're not getting good neutral ice possession time, so they can't get into the zone cleanly and get those offensive possessions that they desperately need to try and get one. Long-winded, but that's how we get there.
Get one. Kind of like our philosophy on being able to score goals, and we have a goaltending change, AJ. Chamberlain Osera's back in net for Colorado State to begin the third period. He gets a fist bump off camera from Ethan Blackburn. So Blackburn gives up 4 goals on 33 shots and is retired early by the Rams. And we're back underway here at City National Arena for the third and possibly final period of play.
Well, you know, Blackburn's going to be big on the boards once he gets settled down on the bench. He was big on them last night. Haven't been as loud tonight, but that's because they haven't had him on the bench there. But if you see the camera shaking at all, that's from Ethan Blackburn.
So the Rebels now gaining the zone. Jensen's with it down low. He takes a spill. Cromwell tries to play it through traffic below the goal line. Kelly had something to say about that. Now here's Carollo with it. Carollo up top, Lights. Sends it back down low. Kelly now from below the goal line off the pad. Osera scrambling for it off his toe. Ford directs it on. They score. Dylan Ford on the score sheet, 5-0 Rebels. Just about 49 seconds into the third.
Well, Osera never was able to corral that puck right in front of the net, and then it bounces away in the yawning cage. Dylan Ford buries it. And I know for sure we've got our first 5-goal lead of the weekend.
We had our first 4-goal lead of the weekend yesterday, too.
This is true.
So Dylan Ford, the latest goal scorer, just under a minute into this third period of play. And that's Ford's first goal of the year. Now Wyatt looking through the wickets strong to Nagra. And that gets directed in. Osera plays it off the wall, stopped by Strong. And now down low, there's Mensch. He shoots one off the shoulder. Chamberlain Osera. Now the Rams gaining the zone. Kuntz bumps his man off of the puck on the left wing. And Zanone will freeze play. 17:56 to go now. Once again, Dylan Ford, the latest goal scorer in this game, extending the Rebels' lead to 5. A quick peek at the UNLV upcoming schedule. The Skating Rebels head to Oklahoma to take on the Oklahoma Sooners. January 30th and 31st at 7 p.m. DiMaggio directs that one towards the net. A good chance for DiMaggio, looking for another goal this weekend. And Rand's going to wind up a rush in his own end, and it gets directed in by McIntosh. So once again, UNLV at Oklahoma next weekend, 7 p.m. puck drop on the 30th and the 31st of January. And then they're back on the road the very next week, taking on Grand Canyon University in Arizona, February 5th and 6th. Here's McIntosh moving in. He shoots, glove save, Nocera. 2-on-0. McIntosh chooses a shot.
Oh, not to put you on the spot, do you know the last time UNLV played Oklahoma?
January of 2023.
Oh.
That's from what I remember. I know they were here. I'll have to double check my facts there. I know for certain January of 2023, right before you came onto the team, AJ. About 2 months, I feel like.
Yep.
That was a military appreciation weekend.
My first series was the
Senior
senior night
weekend.
versus GCU. Wasn't officially on the broadcast team, but still was a reporter in the rink that night.
And I am correct. UNLV has not played Oklahoma since 2023. We have a delay penalty on the Rebels. That's blown dead now. So UNLV is going to be shorthanded. Roughing will be the call.
Well, here's a stat for you, Dom. The last 3 power plays for Colorado State, they've registered just 1 shot.
We'll see if they can register another shot or maybe more. Brady Estabrook, 2 minutes for roughing at the 16:37 mark of the third. So UNLV on the PK. That's Kuntz stopping that rush right at the blue line, and he'll sail it into the zone softly. Once again, touching on the schedule, we mentioned UNLV heads to Oklahoma next week. The week after, they take on GCU on the road in Arizona. Then the following week, the second to last home series for the Rebels, the midnight game on Thursday, February 12th against Arizona State. Then an 8 p.m. puck drop on the 13th against the Sun Devils. As Zanone freezes that puck. 1:06 to go on the Colorado State power play. And then following week, UNLV heads to Utah to take on the Utes, a tough place to play up in Salt Lake City. Then a couple of weeks off, and they close things out on March 6th and the 7th against Boise State.
Be an interesting series, Boise State. I think they're still Division II, right?
Yes, they are, I believe.
Had a friend on the Boise State roster 2 years ago.
I did as well. You talking about the same guy, potentially? Is this going to be news here?
I know who yours
James Brendel.
Yes.
Yes, okay. I know James Brendel, too.
And then yours
Matthew Johnson.
is Maddie, right?
Matthew Johnson, yes. He was the president, actually, of Boise State Club Hockey when he was there. There's a big hit along the boards right in front of the scores table, and Cromwell is going to be going for interference. He collided with what looked like Bryce Johnson along the wall there. So that wipes the remaining power play for CSU. 25 seconds in a 4-on-4 period. Then UNLV, a minute 35 power play.
Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but not a shot registered on that power play for Colorado State. So now in their last 4, just 1 shot, and that is not winning hockey.
0.25 shots on goal, an average for Colorado State's power play. So UNLV back to 4-on-4 now. For just a handful of seconds, and here's White's DDD. Gordon tries to tee one up. It rolled off the blade of his stick, it looks like, and Jensen couldn't settle down the bouncing puck in prime real estate. So UNLV's penalty on Brady Estabrook for roughing is now up. The Rebels back at full strength, and they begin their power play for about a minute and a half now. Here's Rand taking it down low. Rand pulls up in the corner and loses that puck to Sleds, and now Nagra. To Mensch. Mensch gets tied up. Nagra plays it off the wall, back for Mensch. Mensch from the corner. He surveys. Rink wide feed off the side of the cage. Back on a yawning net on the doorstep, and it just couldn't get all of it as it bounces off the side of the net. We play on. A minute to go on the UNLV power play. Ran from the slot. Mensch looking. He shoots from the right circle, and it gets blocked in front. Now Nagra up top, D for Gordon, top of the left circle. To the slot, Rand tees one up off the pad of Nocera. UNLV helmet on the power play. Down low, Backel. Now Mensch from the right circle, tries to get it to the slot. Regains possession, Nagra top of the circle. He shoots, blocker save in the skates of Gordon at the left circle. He gets body possession and Rand settles it down. And now 30 seconds to go. Mensch's rink wide feed is tipped up in the air and Sled sends it off the glass and out. A good stand on the PK for the Rams as they get a full, fresh set of penalty killers out there with 15 seconds to go.
Yawning cage for Backel there. That one's going to live with him.
And now here's Johnson in the final seconds of the power play, going for a skate on the right side. Now on the left wing, Johnson pivots on the half wall, plays it down low. Jensen gets it. Now up for Kuntz. Now Carollo. Rink wide, DiMaggio. He shoots one. Knocked down in front. Kuntz couldn't direct it back towards the goal. Broken stick. That's Johnson without his twig. And now Carollo. Colorado strength back at full. For Colorado State, back at full strength. UNLV still on the forecheck. That clearance attempt is gloved down by Whites at the point. Mastic with it now on the right wing boards. Down low. McIntosh driving the net. Couldn't get a clean shot off. He got tied up by Feinberg on the back check. Here's Ford looking for a second of the night. He shoots, knocked down in front. Another try for UNLV. It doesn't get there. Ford with it again. He shoots it again. Blocked in front. Ran with another try. Save made. Now Ford, top of the left circle, down low, Masick. McIntosh mixing it up with Nocera in front of the net. McIntosh jousting with Perini now. That puck sails wide. McIntosh has it now. Now here's White. High slot. He shoots. Save made. Loose puck out in front. Everyone knifing for it. Nocera finds it and holds for a whistle. Now Chamberlain Nocera making some good saves here. And there's some talking as teams disembark to their benches.
We'll take a bow, Nocera on that one right there. Saw a plethora of shots. Made clean saves on a lot of them, it felt like.
A plethora of shots, a plethora of saves. Even mixing it up with Ryder McIntosh out front.
Jockeying for position.
Norris comes into the face-off after his teammate gets tossed. Metz shoots one off the blocker of Nocera, and Gordon fires another one, blocked in front by Doan. Now Mensch at the official's crease, plays it back into his own end. Now 9 minutes gone in this third period. UNLV 1 shot away from the 50-shot mark. And now Nagra for Ban. He fires one wide of the net, strong towards the slot, and it gets poked away. Zanone out to play that one, plays it off the glass and out of play. 10:29 to go.
Well, we're definitely starting to see that pace from the first period from UNLV again in these last couple possessions. Just rifling shots, rifling passes, and trying to crack through Nocera, who's been standing tall so far. It's been making some good saves.
Aside from that goal early in this period, he's been having himself a night. D-to-D, there's Kuntz off the feet from DiMaggio. He fires, gets blocked out in front by a Ram player. Now Johnson up top, DiMaggio. And now Backel looking. Some 6 coming up in front of the net. Johnson doing battle. And Dorr trying to start it out. And a stoppage play. And it's going to be for a penalty, I believe. We're going to see who's going to be going. It'll be an elbowing call. And that elbowing call is going to be on Luke Backel, it appears. So the Rebels back on the PK now. And it is Backel for an elbowing minor, and here's Masick shorthanded on the right wing. Toe drag through traffic. Another try. Masick on the backhand just misses wide. What a display from the freshman. Shorthanded. Very reminiscent to the man who used to don that number, Bradley Gallant, on the penalty kill. Using the speed to get the scoring chance. Here's Esbrook. He shoots off the chest of Nocera. He gets his own rebound. Now takes it below the goal line. It gets pickpocketed by Hunt Bond. And now Jensen shorthanded. Can't one-hand that through traffic. Now under a minute to go on the CSU power play. Once again, that's Backel, Luke Backel for elbowing. They'll send that puck down the length of the ice. And a big-time hip check. Oh, my goodness. That was Dylan Gordon taking out Carrick Stevens. My goodness. Now 8 minutes to go. 10 seconds now remaining on the UNLV penalty kill. And UNLV back to full strength as that puck is tipped up into the netting. Is there a shot on goal on that one? So 5.
It's 5 power plays, 1 shot. And for a team that they scored their first goal this series, their only goal this series, on the power play, to register just 1 shot in your last 5 is, I mean, we've mentioned it's not winning hockey, it's not winning anything.
No. Not at all. Final half of this third period. And that gets lifted, tipped into the zone. Nocera plays it for Perini, who gets bumped by Rand. hold for a whistle once more. So UNLV's eclipsed the 50-shot mark. Shots are 52-13. As we mentioned, Colorado State with one shot on goal. We've counted on the last 5 power play attempts. Here's DiMaggio, rotten luck from a high slot. He has his stick snapped in 2. And it might not be all the way luck, because it's going to be a slashing minor coming up on CSU.
Ref using a prop there to
Plus 10 aura points there. Leo Berger, a slashing minor. So 7:08 to go, UNLV on the power play once again. And the Rebels come away with possession off that draw. And Masick turns it over. And now here comes CSU. They gain the zone shorthanded. And that looks like it goes off of the pad of Zanone. And now here comes Masick on the left wing. He waits. Now to Rand. Johnson from the right circle. He shoots. Misses wide. Jackson White softly to Rand. Top of the left circle. Back up top to White. He swings it D to DiMaggio on the backhand. DiMaggio down low for Masick. Centering try off the stick. Rand shoots one. And skies it over the net. And he didn't. You saw the expression, the body language there. He was not happy that I missed the net.
Yeah, we know Rand's going to keep shooting. He's going to break through eventually too, but so far has not been able to get through.
Not tonight. He's had his chances. So Nagra at the top of the zone, swings it over to the top of the right circle for Mensch. Played down low, out of the reach of Band. And Doan sends it down the length of the ice. Now UNLV off the drop pass from Nagra to Mensch. He gains his zone. Touched on for Nagra. Strong top of the left circle. He fires off the cuff of the glove. Rebound try off the shoulder of Nocera, it looked like. That was Backel with another chance. And now Mensch, he fires. Blocked in front by Doan. Under 30 seconds to go on the UNLV man advantage. Backel now up top for Strong. Now to Nagra. To Backel. Touched on. One-time try from Mensch. They score. Tic-tac-toes. UNLV's up 6-0.
Tic-tac-toe indeed. A beautiful set of passing there on the power play unit. And a beautiful shot from Heath Mensch. Give the UNLV Skating Rebels a touchdown on the board. PAT pending.
Or 2 field goals.
Or 2 field goals.
Or 3 safeties.
Or 3 safeties. You are correct.
So we know about scoregami.
Yeah.
Is it possible? I mean, there's obviously been a 6-0 game in NFL history before. Is it possible to have a scoregami, but all 6 points are from 3 safeties? Would that count as a scoregami? Probably not,
no.
But it has to count for something.
It would be. I mean, the thing with the safety is when you get 3 safeties, like you said, you're up to 6 points, and that's just kind of lame, right? Or you get 2 points, like, whoa, they've got 2 points. Whoa, they've got 4 points. You get 2 safeties. But after that, it kind of just, the allure of the safety isn't there anymore.
Fair. Wonder if there's ever been a 2-0 game in NFL history. Or 4-0.
I know the elusive scoregami that everyone wants to see is the 6-1 game with the.
Is that like a pick 2?
I'll explain
Maybe?
it. I'll explain it. So
I'm actually really interested to hear about that.
you basically need a safety on the extra point try. So the scoring team needs a
wow.
safety. and that results in 1 point.
That's kind of insane. I feel like that's impossible. Like, it's obviously in the rule book. It was thought of. But it's got to be impossible. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, Backel takes a couple shots up high in his cage, and it's going to be a high sticking minor on CSU. So the Rebels back on the power play. They just connected on the man advantage and sitting for a pair of minutes. Max Hernberger for a high stick.
Well, now in college football with the new overtime rules, it's possible to have a 1-0 final score.
That would be awful.
With the same
that would feel
same
bad
sort of
for
logic.
anyone who bet the over.
You got to get to triple overtime where they just run 2-point tries, and then that needs to result in a safety.
Or a safety, yeah.
And that'll be 1 point.
Here's back on the doorstep, his third try. No joy. Now, centering try, back again on the doorstep. Can't bury it. And one final thought on the college football rules. I feel like it'd be very hard when you're starting on, the 25-yard line, knocking on the door of the red zone to get a safety.
It's even harder because you need to get to triple overtime without registering a score, because then it's just 2-point tries from the 2-yard line.
Oh, so that's even worse. You have to go 98 yards backwards. That's even more remarkable because I don't think there's been like a 90-something yard loss after a sack before. So that might be a little crazier.
Yeah, you would need a botched snap over the quarterback's head, and it just keeps rolling.
Botched snap of doom.
And they can't recover it. And you'd be able to get that. Then you need them to recover it in their own end zone somehow. And then get the safety, and that would be a 1-0 final.
I'd love to see the day. Here's Rand dropping it off for Johnson. He swings it over to Jackson Wyatt about under 40 seconds to go. DiMaggio tries to get it rink wide. Can't get to anyone. Takes that on the backhand from Wyatt. DiMaggio looking down low. Mastic tries to center it. Get blocked up by Cromwell. And now Wyatt with it again. In and out. He shoots off the post. Oh, my goodness. Jackson Wyatt with a little bit of razzle-dazzle, but can't beat the iron.
We talked about it earlier with the Mason Kelly goal where the pipe adds flavor to your goal, and right there it's the exact opposite. Heartbreak.
Post giveth, the post taketh.
The post giveth, the post taketh. Is perfectly said.
So on our philosophical grind here this week. Here's Mastic drive for the net. Centering try. Rand shoots one. Deflected wide. So Colorado State back to full strength. And now here come the Rams up the right wing. That's Sleds who moves it in. And now here's Rand up ice. Tomasic on the right wing. Rink wide feed. Bounced up in the air. And sockered away from danger by Perini. And played back down low. And now played up ice. Here's Kelly. It's a Carollo. Gordon, he fires. Bad save. In the slot. Carollo can't get it to Kelly. And now here come the Rams with some momentum. That gets stopped up. Final minute of play here in this one at City National Arena. Gets sent in by Kelly. 40 seconds to go. Played around the wall. There's Ford. He looks. Still in Ford. Fires. Tipped on net. Rebound try. Jammed away from the net. And now in the final half minute, the Rams will chip it into the zone. Ford takes a big hit behind the play. Will play on. Final 15. Kuntz sends it cross corner. And there's Estabrook who plays it around the wall for Johnson. 10 seconds and counting to go. And that gets played out in front of the net. Frozen. 4.6 to go, and some more than academic.
Yep, just about. We'll do one more face-off just for the heck of it.
Yeah, why not?
The rules
it's another rep.
The rules indicate that we must.
And we have some jawing. Estabrook talking to Cromwell and gives him a little extra as the horn sounds. And Estabrook takes a shove from Fritzson. And he's showing the sweep off Cam. So UNLV 6-0 owns it, own a shutout in his maiden start at City National Arena.
And an assist.
And an assist. He got an apple. So quite the night for Owens and Owen. Quite the night for the Rebels. A 6-0 win over Colorado State. And UNLV improves to 2-1. Or 3-1, excuse me, at home against Colorado State. 5-1 in the last 6 years. So once again, UNLV on the road for the next pair of weeks. They take on Oklahoma next weekend at 7 p.m. And then they take on GCU the following week before they can return here at City National Arena 11:59 p.m. against Arizona State, February 12th. So on behalf of A.J. Reed, Zoe Salas, Jack Bridges, Kyle Sparrow, Bo Kennedy, Nardia Petitchalard, Orlando Guerrero, Gene Gomez, Marcus Bray, and everyone else here at the UNLV Skate and Roll broadcast team, I'm Dominic Duval. Thank you for your time this weekend. We hope you enjoy the time off and the time away from us. And we'll see you right back here February 12th after dark against Arizona State.